Overall, I thought we played a very complete game. You know, our offense is very explosive, and that's kind of how we were again today, explosive plays. I'd like to see us sustain some more drives, but overall we showed that we could score at any moment. On defense, I thought our defense did a great job of holding them, obviously, to field goals early on. You know, we had some drives. We'd obviously like to create a little bit more 3 and outs. Obviously, the story of the first half was time of possession. But, you know, when I study time of possession, what I look at is 3 and outs. How many 3 and outs did our offense have? And how many 3 and outs did our defense create? And then what did you have in terms of long drives? And that was our issue, is getting off the field a little bit more on defense. But I thought overall we played really well. The early interception was huge, kind of set the tone right from the beginning of the game. But overall, just really gutsy the way our defense played. The shovel play gave us a little bit issues, which is a challenging play to defend. I think that's a good football team. I think they're going to win a lot of games this year. And then special teams is probably the area right now, just watching the game. We'll watch the film, obviously, but I think special teams is probably the area that I thought we played our best. You know, number 10, we talked about being a major factor in this game. It could be a game wrecker, and we wanted to limit the impact that he could have. And I haven't seen the stats yet, but I don't think he had many yards. And I thought that had a lot to do with our punting and our location, our hang time, but probably more so about our coverage units. So overall, really good. A lot of different individual things I could talk about, but most important is we're 1-0 this week, and we were able to get a win. You know, that's what this was for us, guys. I know last year for their win it was like the Super Bowl, but for us this was just like beating Akron.
Open question for Coach. Chris Hamilton, a mic to you.
James, I was going to ask something completely different, but that kind of stung me. I don't know if people in Pittsburgh will take that.
You guys.
Maybe the way you meant it.
Yeah, you guys. I've been saying for 2 years, so you can interpret it however you want. I've been saying for 2 years that each win is like the Super Bowl for us. So you can interpret it however you want. Last week we beat Akron, and it was a great win.
I see.
This win, we beat Pittsburgh, and it was a great win. This win is no more significant for us than last week.
Okay.
So you can interpret it however you want. I've been saying this for 3 years. Each win stands alone.
And the question I was going to ask is that when you said explosive, have you had a team like this where you can give up time of possession, which used to worry coaches a lot more in the past than it probably does now? If you got explosive players, you end up winning the game going away. Have you ever had a team like this before? I imagine not.
Yeah, the game has changed. I think time of possession is a stat that people used to look at for a long time, and it was a major factor in wins and losses. I don't think it's as much of a factor anymore. You look at it, the teams that are playing this style of offense, they're winning a high percentage of games and losing time of possession. Obviously, you'd like there to be a little bit more balance. Whenever you get to extremes, that's when there's problems. When you get to extremes, no different than anything else in life. So I don't think it's much of a factor as it's been in the past, but for us, we're mainly worried about the scoreboard.
James,
Jay?
why did the passing game struggle for most of the afternoon, and was there a concerted effort to get Saquon more touches in the second half, especially, and how big was the touchdown catch by him?
Yeah, not really. Our offense and our game plans in this RPO system is to take what the defense gives. They were using a lot of interior pressures and trying to take our running game, our inside zone package in between the tackles away. And we did some things to get the ball on the perimeter later in the game in the second half, which I think helped us. But for us, if Saquon's going to have opportunities for big plays, he's going to get them. And if not, we're going to throw the ball or pull the ball or whatever it may be. So, very pleased, very impressed, with what we were able to do. But it wasn't like we went in at halftime and said we got to get Saquon the ball more. We call plays, and based on what the defense does, either gets the ball or he doesn't. So it's.
I was going to ask you, I don't know first part, do you think the passing game struggled and why?
Yeah, I think we were a little off. I think Trace missed some throws early in the game that he normally doesn't. But you know, we were able to kind of get him involved in some of the running game early on, which I think settled us down, and then made some plays. So I think we were just off. I think we missed some throws early in the game that we normally hit.
James, your defense was on the field, we're talking about time of possession, more than 38 minutes. What does that say about A, your depth, and B, your conditioning on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I think good. You know, obviously I think good. You know, I thought our defense, you know, like you're saying, they were on the field a lot, but really were able to hold them to field goals for almost, you know, most of the game. Created some turnovers, and we played a lot of guys again. You know, we played a lot of guys throughout the game, which is going to be important for us moving forward. You know, I saw some of the young guys get on and did some really good things as well. You know, so we're going to have to continue to do that. We practice really hard with a real fast tempo. We don't ever condition after practice. It's all conditioning through practice and maximizing the time that we're out there. So, you know, I'm pleased with kind of where we're at.
James, you mentioned about finishing a couple more drives. Could you take us through the last sequence after Pitt ran the ball on first down? You called timeout. Were you trying to get the ball back for the offense one more time and maybe finish the game a little stronger?
Yeah, not necessarily finish the game a little bit stronger, but if they had a negative yardage play on first down backed up, I was going to use the timeout there, and that's what happened. They were able to pick up a first down, I think, on fourth down, which extended the drive, and then obviously you wouldn't want to be in that situation. But yeah, ball backed up like that. We wanted an opportunity to get our offense on the field another time with good field position. But I think it was a fourth down that they picked up.
James, Saquon had 14 touches today in the running game. I think he had a similar number last week. With the kickoff returns, is that just another way to get the ball in his hands, the way your offense runs, that he is guaranteed to get the ball in his hands?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. For us, we very rarely ever just call a run. So depending on what the defense does, we can pull the ball every single time, and the quarterback can keep it or put it on the edge. The positive is when Saquon gets the ball, he's usually running into a good look. So for us, you know, for him, get him involved in the kickoff return game, we're guaranteed that he's going to get a touch. And then on top of that, I just feel like he's got a chance whenever he touches the ball to create an explosive play. I think we can be better in our kickoff return package right now. We got to be better in that. So if we're going to use him, it's got to be worth it, if that makes sense.
James, I think you probably have more speed on special teams than maybe any other Penn State has in a long time. How much does that play to the success of those units on kickoff?
I think it is huge. We got it too deep on our kickoff team and our punt team right now that can run down the field and defeat blocks and make plays. So I think obviously you guys know how happy we were with Blake Gillikin last year. But now the combination of Blake Gillikin with our coverage teams, with Tyler Davis and our coverage teams, then I think we got a chance to be really good. We've now solved the problem on punt return. We got an explosive punt return that people are excited now to watch, and it goes hand in hand with how we're blocking. We need to get more explosive and get bigger plays now in our kickoff return game as well.
Anything else for Coach?
Audrey,
You mentioned Grant Haley.
please.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You mentioned Grant Haley in the opening statement. What did that play mean just to kind of get you guys off on the right foot, especially for him? Because he's a guy who's made a lot of those big plays for you guys over the years.
Yeah, he's such a dependable guy. He's going to be in the right place at the right time. Very disciplined. He's made big play after big play his entire career on special teams and on defense. So when those guys are going to throw the ball up like that, we put pressure on the quarterback. We got to come down with it. I still think there's probably a few more balls every single game that we can get our hands on. We got some guys that kind of lock in for the big hit, and I still think we can get a few more interceptions. The play by Apke was significant as well.
James,
Last one, Neil.
one more on this series. I know every game's the same game, big game, but when you recruit Pittsburgh like you do, you have a lot of players on the team from Pittsburgh. Is that play into recruiting head-to-head competition in terms of how significant this game is?
I don't think so. I made that comment earlier, and everybody in the room went, ooh, guys, I've been saying that. You haven't come to very many press conferences. I've been saying that each and every single week. The game we play that week is the Super Bowl. Last week was Akron, this week is Pittsburgh. I don't really kind of get into anything else. I'm going to enjoy this win for about 7 hours. And then we're going to get, Sunday we're going to wake up and start preparing for the next team. And I'm going to say the same thing, that team is the most important and that game's the most important game on our schedule. Really appreciate everybody coming out. Again, the atmosphere was electric. I'd love for us to get to a point where we start a sellout string in that stadium, because this university deserves it, this football program deserves it, and I think we all see how special this place is when everybody's pulling the rope in the same direction. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach.